Kinshasa, Zaire, October 27, 1974. 4:23 a.m. Muhammad Ali woke up unable to breathe. His chest felt like someone had filled it with concrete. Sweat poured from his body, soaking through the sheets. His heart was racing 140 beats per minute, then 150, then 160. He tried to stand, but collapsed. His legs wouldn't support him. The room spun violently. "Help," he whispered, but no sound came out. His throat had closed up. His cornerman, Bundini Brown, sleeping in the adjacent room, heard a crash. He ran in and found Ali on the floor, convulsing, his eyes rolled back, foam coming from his mouth. "Champ," Bundini screamed. "Someone get a doctor. Now." The hotel doctor arrived within minutes. He took one look at Ali, and his face went pale. He checked Ali's pulse, his pupils, his breathing. Then he pulled Bundini aside. "What did he eat tonight?" the doctor asked urgently. "Dinner." "Same thing, we all ate." "What?" "Because," the doctor said quietly, "these are symptoms of poisoning, severe poisoning, and if we don't get him to a hospital immediately, he's going to die." In 3 days, Muhammad Ali was supposed to fight George Foreman for the heavyweight championship of the world. The Rumble in the Jungle, the biggest sporting event in history, watched by 1 billion people worldwide. But right now, lying on a hotel room floor in Zaire, unable to breathe, Ali wasn't thinking about boxing. He was thinking about one thing. Someone had tried to kill him, and he had a pretty good idea who. But to understand why someone would poison Muhammad Ali in the middle of Africa, you need to understand what the Rumble in the Jungle really was. Because this wasn't just a boxing match. It was a geopolitical chess game involving dictators, CIA operations, Cold War politics, and millions of dollars in blood money. 6 months earlier, March 1974, a bizarre meeting took place in a palace in Kinshasa, Zaire. On one side, Don King, a flamboyant boxing promoter with a criminal past and a genius for making money. On the other side, Mobutu Sese Sese, the dictator of Zaire, one of the most brutal rulers in Africa, a man who had murdered his way to power and stayed there through terror. King pitched Mobutu an idea. Bring Muhammad Ali and George Foreman to Zaire, host the biggest boxing match in history, put Africa on the world stage. Mobutu loved it, not because he cared about boxing, but because he understood propaganda. He wanted the world to see Zaire as modern, powerful, civilized, not the corrupt, violent dictatorship it actually was. "How much?" Mobutu asked. $10 million, King said. $5 million for each fighter. Mobutu didn't blink. Done. Where did that money come from? That's where things get dark. Mobutu's regime was financed partly by the CIA during the Cold War. America supported African dictators who were anti-communist, no matter how brutal. Mobutu was one of their favorites. He crushed socialist movements. He killed dissidents. He kept Soviet influence out of Central Africa, and the CIA paid him handsomely for it. So when Mobutu spent $10 million on a boxing match, the question everyone asked was, whose money was he really spending? Muhammad Ali arrived in Zaire in September 1974, 6 weeks before the fight. He was 32 years old, past his prime. Considered a heavy underdog against George Foreman. Foreman was 25, undefeated in 40 fights, with 37 knockouts. He had destroyed Joe Frazier, the man who had beaten Ali in 2 rounds. He was considered the most dangerous puncher in boxing history, but Ali didn't come to Zaire to win. He came to make a statement. "I'm fighting for every black person on earth," Ali declared to the Zairean crowds. "George Foreman represents America, the white establishment, oppression. I represent Africa, freedom, the people." The Zairean people loved him. They chanted Ali Bome, Ali, kill him. They saw him as a hero, a black Muslim standing up to white power. But not everyone loved Ali being in Africa. The CIA, which had been monitoring Ali since his conversion to Islam, was concerned. Ali was becoming too influential, too political. His presence in Zaire was galvanizing black populations across Africa. His message of black pride and anti-imperialism was dangerous too. American interests, and there were people within the intelligence community who believed, if Ali won this fight, if he became even more famous and influential, he would become a problem too big to control. Better to eliminate the problem now, in Africa, where things could be made to look like accidents. 3 weeks before the fight, Ali received the first warning. A man approached him outside his training camp, middle-aged white American accent. He didn't identify himself, but Ali recognized the type. "Intelligence operative?" "Mr. Ali," the man said, "you should be careful what you eat and drink here. Zaire is a dangerous place. People get sick. Sometimes they don't recover." "You threatening me?" Ali asked. "I'm advising you. This fight, some people don't want it to happen. Some people think you're becoming too influential. You understand?" Ali understood perfectly. This was the same pattern as Chicago 1966. The same type of message. The same shadow government trying to control him. "Tell your bosses I ain't scared," Ali said. The man smiled coldly. "It's not about fear, Mr. Ali. It's about survival." He walked away. Ali told his trainer, Angelo Dundee, about the encounter. Angelo was worried. "Champ, maybe we should request security." "Maybe we should request security from who?" Ali interrupted Mobutu. The same dictator who's in bed with the CIA. We're on our own, Angelo. The second warning came 2 weeks before the fight. Ali found a dead rat in his training equipment bag. Its throat had been slit. Attached to it was a note. This is what happens to rats who bite the hand that feeds them. Ali showed it to his inner circle. Everyone was spooked. We should leave, one of them said. This is too dangerous. But Ali refused. I leave now? I look like a coward. I stay. I show them they can't scare me. Bundini Brown, Ali's loyal cornerman, said, Champ, if they want you dead, they'll find a way. No amount of courage stops poison. Then I guess Ali said, we better be real careful about what I eat. For the final 2 weeks before the fight, Ali's team implemented extreme security protocols. All food was prepared by Ali's personal chef, brought from America. No one ate at restaurants. No one accepted drinks from strangers. Someone tasted Ali's food before he ate? Literally, like medieval kings afraid of poison. Ali's water was sealed. His hotel room was checked daily for tampering. His team members were vetted and watched. But despite the precautions, everyone felt it. The sense of being hunted, of being in enemy territory, of waiting for an attack they couldn't predict. George Foreman's camp noticed the paranoia. Ali's losing his mind, Foreman said to reporters. He's seeing conspiracies everywhere. He's already beaten before we even fight. But Foreman didn't know what Ali knew. Foreman was the establishment fighter. The American, the one the CIA had no reason to fear. Ali was the dissident, the Muslim, the anti-war activist, the one who had already embarrassed America by refusing the draft. And in the world of intelligence operations, embarrassment is often a death sentence. October 26, 1974. 3 days before the fight, Ali's team held a private dinner at the hotel. Only trusted people were invited. Angelo Dundee, Bundini Brown, Ali's brother Rahman, his doctor Ferdy Pacheco, and a few security personnel. The food was prepared by Ali's chef. The room was secured. Everything seemed safe. They ate, they talked strategy. They laughed and tried to relax before the biggest fight of Ali's comeback. Ali ate lightly. Chicken, rice, vegetables. He drank water from a sealed bottle. He followed every precaution. By 11 p.m., everyone had gone to their rooms. Ali felt fine, tired, but fine. He went to bed. At 4:23 a.m., he woke up dying. The ambulance rushed Ali to Mama Yimo Hospital, the main medical facility in Kinshasa. It was understaffed, underfunded, and poorly equipped. Dr. Pacheco, Ali's personal physician, followed in a separate car. When he arrived, he found Ali on a gurney in the emergency room, barely conscious, his vital signs crashing. What's his blood pressure? Pacheco demanded. 70/40 and dropping, a Zairean doctor said, dangerously low. Ali was going into shock. Pulse, 160 and irregular. He's going into cardiac arrest. Pacheco examined Ali quickly. The symptoms were clear. Rapid heartbeat, respiratory distress, severe gastrointestinal pain, dilated pupils, profuse sweating. This is poison, Pacheco said. Classic symptoms. What do you have for treatment? The Zairean doctor looked at him helplessly. We don't have activated charcoal. We don't have the equipment for gastric lavage. We don't even have enough for fluids. Then we're going to lose him, Pacheco said. At that moment, Ali's eyes opened. He grabbed Pacheco's arm weakly. Don't let me die here, he whispered. Not like this. You're not dying, champ, Pacheco said, though he wasn't sure that was true. For the next 6 hours, Dr. Pacheco fought to keep Muhammad Ali alive. He administered what limited medications the hospital had. He kept Ali's airway open manually. He monitored his heart, ready to perform CPR if it stopped. But the poison, whatever it was ravaging Ali's system. His kidneys were failing, his liver enzymes were spiking, his body was shutting down. At 8 a.m., Pacheco pulled Bundini aside. He's not going to make it. The poison is too far advanced. We need a miracle. Then pray for a miracle, Bundini said, tears streaming down his face. At 9 a.m., something strange happened. Ali's vital signs stabilized. Not improved, stabilized. His heart rate came down to 120. His blood pressure rose to 90/50. Still dangerous, but not immediately fatal. At 11 a.m., Ali regained consciousness. He looked at Pacheco and said weakly, Am I alive? You're alive, champ. The fight? Forget the fight. We need to get you out of Zaire. No, Ali said, his voice getting stronger. They tried to kill me. If I leave, they win. If you stay, you might die. Then I die fighting, Ali said, but I'm not running. While Ali recovered in the hospital, Angelo Dundee and Ali's security team tried to figure out what happened. They went back to the hotel. They interviewed everyone who had been at the dinner. They examined the food, the water, the room, and they found it. A small puncture mark in the seal of Ali's water bottle. So small you'd miss it unless you were looking. Someone had injected something into the bottle, probably with a syringe, and then partially resealed it. Who had access to the room? Angelo demanded. The hotel manager, nervous and sweating, said, Many people, security, cleaning staff, government officials. This is Zaire. When the government wants access, we give access. So you're saying, Angelo said slowly, that Mobutu's people could have done this. The manager said nothing, but his silence was confirmation. Back at the hospital, Pacheco ran tests on Ali's blood. The Kinshasa lab wasn't equipped for sophisticated toxicology, but they did what they could. The results were inconclusive, but the symptoms matched several poisons, possibly arsenic, possibly a synthetic toxin, possibly something even more exotic. Whoever did this, Pacheco said, knew exactly what they were doing. This wasn't amateur, this was professional. October 28th, Muhammad Ali sat in a hospital bed, weak but alive. Don King burst into the room. Ali, thank God you're okay. Listen, we're postponing the fight. Your health is more important than the fight happens on schedule, Ali interrupted. Are you insane? You were poisoned. You almost died. Yeah, and I'm still here, which means whoever tried to kill me failed. And I'm not giving them another chance by staying in this hospital or waiting around. You can barely stand up. Ali pulled himself out of bed, wobbling but upright. I can stand. I can walk. I can fight. Pacheco tried to intervene. Champ, medically speaking, this is suicide. Your body hasn't recovered. You're dehydrated. Your organs are stressed. You have no stamina. George Foreman will kill you. Someone already tried to kill me and failed, Ali said. Foreman's just a boxer. That afternoon, Ali checked himself out of the hospital against medical advice. He went back to his hotel, surrounded by security, and resumed light training. The news media didn't know about the poisoning. Ali's team kept it quiet. If word got out, the fight would be cancelled. Mobutu would lose face, and Ali would look weak. So Ali pretended everything was fine. He shadowboxed 4 cameras. He gave interviews. He talked trash about Foreman, but privately, he knew the truth. He was about to fight George Foreman, the most dangerous puncher in boxing, at maybe 60% of his normal strength, and if he lost, everyone would assume it was age, or ring rust, or the natural end of his career. Nobody would know that he had been poisoned by people who wanted him. Dead October 30th, 1974. 4 a.m. The fight began before dawn so it could be broadcast live to American audiences. Muhammad Ali walked to the ring in the darkness. 60,000 Zairians chanting Ali Bom. He looked confident, strong, defiant. But Bandini, walking beside him, knew the truth. Ali was running on pure willpower. His body was still recovering from the poison. He had lost 12 pounds. He had barely slept in 3 days. How you feeling, champ? Bandini whispered. Like I'm about to die? Ali whispered back. But I'll die in the ring. Not in a hospital. Not from their poison. George Foreman entered the ring, massive and intimidating. He looked like a machine built to destroy. The bell rang. What happened next would become one of the greatest victories in sports history, not just because Ali won, but because of what he overcame to win. Ali knew he couldn't outbox Foreman in his weakened state. He didn't have the stamina to dance for 15 rounds. He didn't have the strength to trade punches, so he did something nobody expected. He leaned against the ropes and let Foreman hit him. The rope-a-dope strategy. Let the stronger fighter exhaust himself throwing punches while you cover up. Absorb what you can, and wait for him to tire. It looked like suicide. Foreman's punches were devastating. Each one could end the fight. But Ali had learned something in that hospital bed. He could survive. He could take punishment that would kill other men and keep going. For 7 rounds, Foreman pounded Ali. Hooks to the body, uppercuts to the head, punches that would have knocked out anyone else. But Ali stayed on his feet. And round by round, Foreman got slower, tired, frustrated. In the 8th round, Ali saw his moment. Foreman threw a lazy jab. Ali slipped it and unleashed a perfect combination: right hand to the jaw, left hook to the temple. Foreman fell like a tree. The referee counted ... 8, 9, 10. Muhammad Ali had done the impossible. He had defeated the undefeated BLE. In the locker room after the fight, Ali collapsed. His body finally gave out. Dr. Pacheco rushed to his side. His blood pressure is crashing again. The physical stress of the fight after the poisoning, his body can't take it. They rushed Ali back to the hospital. This time, with better preparation, they stabilized him faster. Ali would spend 3 days recovering in Kinshasa before he was strong enough to fly home. The official story: exhaustion from a hard fight. The real story: a body pushed beyond its limits, surviving not just George Foreman, but assassination. The poisoning was never officially reported. Ali's team kept it quiet. Why? Because they had no proof. The water bottle had been discarded. The hospital records were vague. And accusing the Zairian government or the CIA of attempted murder without proof would have been career suicide or actual suicide. But years later, pieces of the story leaked out. In 1991, a former CIA operative, speaking anonymously to a journalist, said, there were discussions about neutralizing Ali during the Foreman fight. He was becoming too influential in Africa, but I don't know if anything was actually done. In 2001, Dr. Ferdi Pacheco published his memoir and briefly mentioned a mysterious illness Ali suffered before the fight, with symptoms consistent with poisoning. In 2006, Bandini Brown's son found his father's diary. One entry from October 27, 1974, read, "They tried to kill him. He almost died, but he's fighting anyway." God help us. But the full story was never confirmed. Muhammad Ali himself rarely spoke about it. When asked, he would say, "A lot of things happened in Zaire. Some things are better left in Zaire." So what really happened? Who poisoned Muhammad Ali? The truth is, we may never know for certain. But the evidence points in clear directions. Someone had access to Ali's sealed water bottle. Someone had professional knowledge of poisons. Someone had a motive to prevent Ali from winning. Someone had the means and opportunity in Mobutu's Zaire. The most likely culprits, elements within the CIA, or intelligence-connected operatives working with Mobutu's security forces. Why? Because Ali represented everything American intelligence feared in the 1970s. A charismatic black Muslim with international influence, anti-imperialist rhetoric, and the ability to inspire millions. If Ali won in Zaire, his platform would grow even larger. His message would spread further. He would become more dangerous. Better to eliminate him quietly, make it look like illness or accident. Blame Africa's poor conditions. But they underestimated one thing: Ali's will to survive. Muhammad Ali won the rumble in the jungle, but the poisoning took a toll. His kidneys never fully recovered. His liver showed permanent damage. Some doctors believe the poison accelerated the neurological decline that would later manifest as Parkinson's disease. In his final years, when Parkinson's made it difficult to speak, Ali was asked by a close friend, "Do you think the poisoning in Zaire contributed to your condition?" Ali nodded slowly. Then he wrote on a piece of paper, "They poisoned my body, but not my spirit." That paper is now in a private collection. On the back, Ali wrote something else. "I survived because I had to. Too many people were counting on me to quit." Muhammad Ali was poisoned 3 days before the greatest fight of his life. Doctors said he had 24 hours to live. He fought anyway, and won. Not because he was fearless, but because he understood something profound. There are things worth dying for, and if you're going to die anyway, you might as well die doing the impossible. They tried to kill him in a hospital bed. He refused. He chose to face death in the ring instead, on his terms. Fighting, that's not just courage, that's transcendence. And it's why Muhammad Ali wasn't just the greatest boxer, he was the greatest example of what it means to refuse defeat. Even when defeat is injected directly into your bloodstream,